another edition. Yeah. We got some new diction. Money Mac, the Pretty Boys champ. Oh, you know what?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Welcome to Conscious by Nature, where we talk about it because we live it and we understand it because we've been there before. Now I'm Money Mac, the Pretty Boys champ. Okay?
Yes.
My brother back in the building, the scholar,
Yes,
D. Lamar.
Peace.
The genius, Tyson, Area 51 Porter.
What's good?
Special guest in the building. The spectacular, marvelous, beautiful, sexy, and intelligent Dr. Mary Bynum. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm very, very excited to be here today.
Welcome.
Well, you have the microphone, so just take a couple minutes. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, what kind of doctor, what do you do?
What do I do? Let's see. I am, again, Dr. Mary Bynum. I am originally from Los Angeles, California. South Central LA, 222 Cypress Avenue, Compton.
Hey.
I grew up.
Man.
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio,
Okay.
the majority of my life. I attended The Ohio State University.
Word.
I am a 2-time alum, registered nurse, policy guru, and healthcare administrator as well. I have 2 boys and a pretty handsome husband.
Hey. Shout out to that.
Just real quick, your one son, where does he play football at?
My oldest son is at Youngstown State.
Okay.
What it is.
I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I have another son.
Wait.
He's pretty cool too.
What's he do?
He plays football. He has 5 offers currently. So
Really?
we're hoping to, bring him in. So
Yeah.
Nice.
if you need a DB, a handsome 6'2", 185 DB.
Okay.
Oh, we got a
Yes.
tall DB.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. University of Florida hitting with the
Man, for real, you want to go to Florida State, man. That's the school of DBs, man.
I think that belongs to Ohio State now.
Never. Who's the best corner in the league right now?
I mean,
Jalen Ramsey. Stop playing.
I mean-
We don't want to have this discussion about
We gonna
this,
have it
man.
for a second.
we don't have this discussion about this right now, man. Like, this shit ain't even fair, man. You know what I'm saying? We got Deion Sanders, man. They have nobody
Hey,
that
man.
compares to that.
right now. The Florida State not on the table. We
Man,
want
that's
to talk
cool.
about winning schools.
So there's no way you want to go to Florida.
Okay, over Florida. Never, man.
You know what I'm saying? We just playing, man. But, honestly, like, when's the last time y'all won a title?
That would be 2008.
Yeah, there you go.
2008.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bama been whooping that ass since.
Who's your
man.
coach?
You know,
We don't
right. He got me on that one. You know what I'm saying? Come there and turn it around, though.
That's right. That's right.
Man, you know what? We need to get into our show,
Straight
into
up.
our topics. That guys is playing, man. First topic. Who's up? Oh, no. You know what?
Happy birthday.
Yesterday was my birthday. We got something going on with current events. So
Yeah.
we were out last night hanging out, and I was actually had the pleasure of hanging out with the doc last night, and we were just having a discussion about men and women. And what kind of question am I posing here? I'm not really good at this.
So, talking about the differences between men and women and how I want to say our interaction is in those kind of environments, which are very public. Like we were last night, we were hanging out. So what is the expectance of a man and a woman when we're in these public settings?
Okay, so what do you expect from a man in these type of public settings?
Well, being that I'm married,
Okay, let's say that you weren't.
let's say that I was not. I think my expectations would be the same. Respect,
Okay.
genuine respect is key. The way you talk to me, the way you approach me, just kind of the conversation. Not everybody is looking for somebody that they're trying to be in a relationship with. Oftentimes, we're just looking for companionship and just to learn something new. And so I think when folks immediately come out kind of thirsty. I think that's the appropriate terminology to use.
I'm inclined to agree with that.
I think it's problematic. A good friend of mine told me that a man will let you know exactly what he is interested in the first 5 minutes of meeting him. And so I kind of, that's kind of, I always kind of kept that in the back of my mind. But I would say that, it's a respect level. The same level of respect that men want is the same level of respect that women want when we're out in the social environment. Treat us like a lady and vice versa. So.
Do you think it's harder, fellas, like for a man to approach a woman in these kind of settings where it seems like there's so many other men out for the same thing or out to meet someone?
No.
Okay.
Because we was just out last night and it was like 20 women to one man. Mm-hmm. So like you have plenty of options. So I mean, I guess if you scared, go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess we was up in Boma last night, so you was in church and you was still scared. So I don't really know. But
sinning trying to be winning.
Just approach them.
Yeah.
Maybe these men aren't approaching these women in the right fashion or in the right way.
I think it works both ways. I think women should also be receptive to approaching men too. So for example, if there's someone that you have interest in, just be bold, be brave, and also do the same thing. I think guys respect that because I think you guys have it much, much harder. True, there are a lot of women, particularly in Columbus, Ohio, but that doesn't mean that when you approach a woman that they're going to be receptive to receiving whatever it is that you're approaching them with.
Right.
So, well, maybe not you, Ty. But I really think that, as women, if you see something that you like, don't be afraid to just kind of, particularly if you're a confident woman. Not every woman has, a certain level of confidence. And so I think that ultimately that plays a role. But I think, too, that, women have this false sense of reality and believe that everything should be on a man. And I think times have changed a bit. And if it's something that you see, that you want, that you like, that you're interested in, that you shouldn't be afraid to approach it.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because I do think that's old-fashioned or traditional kind of mindset that a man should always approach a woman. I mean, that's almost like a modern woman's thought process that I can be confident enough to go after what I want as well, whether it's in a relationship or just meeting someone, like you said, to be honest about what you want from them.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right. I think, as you get older, perhaps when you were younger, it wasn't so easy. Right. We were still learning ourselves, still smelling ourselves, feeling ourselves. But once you're, 35, 40 plus, you are who you are.
Yeah.
And so, we don't got a whole lot of time to waste.
And no messing
just
around.
Cut the chase. Just,
what
get to
it. My approach is, though, if you're sorry at 25 and you're still sorry at 35, then, that's why. That's why you ain't getting them hollers or you ain't being approached like that. Or when you do approach people, they not very receptive, especially if they seen you these last 10 years every Friday and Saturday out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're recognizable. Your history and your past, it does reflect you in some manner, in some form eventually.
That's true, but I don't think people should be held accountable to their past.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just you have this track record. And yes, I really don't know you, but Beezy, I seen you up in here every week for the last 10 years. And I mean, I know at least 300 of these cats didn't knock you down. Now, am I supposed to just ignore this fact? Or You know, am I supposed to ignore this or what, man? To 51, I ain't heard nothing from you, man. What's up?
Man, okay, so first off, shoot your shot. Go ahead and shoot it, ladies. It's cool to shoot it now. Secondly, you had said, I think you said money that it's easier for men to holler at women.
Yeah.
I think that men are on a different time right now, and they ain't even on that space anymore because of certain things, maybe the feminist movement and things of that nature. Like, I ain't even really trying to step to a woman right now because of what she might bring, attitude, whatever. And so, you know, like, you know what, if you're out and about, I'm just chilling. I'm sipping on something. I'm not even on that time or that space. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's you know, that plays a part too.
When you say their different train of thought per, like you said, feminist movement, that was just an example. Mm-hmm. Can you give me just a little more perspective on what that might be? So you think that their attitudes are different as far as men approaching them? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Like, so the approach is more like,
how many times has you try to step to a woman? I got a boyfriend. I ain't got no time. Oh, fuck that. I'm not trying to deal with that. I'm just saying your hair look nice today. I like your glasses. Your smile looks nice.
And you know what? Dude probably whooping her ass. He probably real, what's that shit? Controlling. You know what I mean? When shit like that happen, I sense that shit. Like, any woman that's happy at home is going to be nice to you. Like, I notice when women come in the office that are happy at home. Good morning, Todd. How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? She happy at home.
That's very true. I think happy women, it radiates all over, all through them. It's an essence. It's something that they give off. You can definitely tell where a person is in life based off of the energy that they're putting out into the element.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for example, you know, I mean, I think we all go through periods. You might see somebody at a downward period in their life and they're kind of, you know, standoffish. You might see them a week or two later and they're exerting a different kind of energy. I think as Cancers, we are very observant of energy. And so I know that that's the first thing that I see. You know, if I am in an environment, in a social environment, and I'm around people who aren't smiling, who aren't happy, who aren't, you know, giving that energy, I try to smile and encounter everybody in a positive way, just for that simple reason, because it reflects who you really are on the inside and what you really think of yourself. And that, you know, last night while we were out, it was one of the things that I noticed. I give a smile, but wouldn't receive a smile back. You know, and that can be from men and women.
Right.
And so it's very important. It's very important to surround yourself with people who exhibit that same level of energy every single time, because it plays into our mental health. So.
All right, excellent. We're gonna wrap that up right there, man, and we're gonna move on to our next topic. What is our next topic?
Yeah, I think we're going to speak on Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay, for
sure. Right, and just came out that she was, what is it?
She's suspended.
She's suspended for the 100 meters.
Yeah.
In the Olympics for smoking weed. She tested positive for marijuana.
Oh shit!
Right, and so that's big out there right now, and you know people are feeling some type of way about it, and I think it's worthy of discussion.
So Sha'Carri was on the Today Show. And they interviewed her, you know, about her suspension. And she spoke about the fact that she was going through some emotional trauma because of the loss of her mother while she was doing those Olympic trials in Oregon.
In an interview moments after the race, she revealed that her biological mother died days before the trials and says she used marijuana to cope with the tragedy.
It was definitely triggering. From there, just blinded by emotions, blinded by sadness, blinded by just hurting.
A growing list of athletes, celebrities, and public figures are standing by Richardson. Let Her Run trending on Twitter.
And you know, you are young and we make mistakes, but you've worked too hard to get where you are, to qualify for these Olympics. I mean, I watched some video of Sha'Carri where some years ago she wasn't even placing. And now she is at the top of the pack in this 100 meters. So you're throwing this away for something that was so easy not to do.
What you got, Doc?
You know, I think I come from a different angle. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
That, you know, she was fully aware of what could potentially happen, you know, and where that puts her. I would say that someone said the same kind of energy that we have for Michael Phelps is the same kind of energy that we should have for this young lady. Now, you know, I think what makes it complicated is a lot of this falls, you know, it's international. So it's not just the U.S. that's making, my understanding is making these decisions in terms of how things are handled. And we know that other countries, you know, have another persona, particularly when it comes to U.S. athletes. In her particular case, she is young, right? She is young.
21.
She doesn't have her mom in her life anymore. She has her grandmother, which is great. But I think that there is a contradiction overall when we think about marijuana. For one, here in the United States, we're legalizing it. We're saying that this is something that is beneficial for health purposes, for mental health purposes. So I think when you're young and you're getting these kinds of mixed messages about, you know, how you should use drugs or whatever the case may be, it becomes problematic. And probably from her mindset, she wasn't using a, you know, enhancement drug that was going to make her perform better. In fact, my assumption is that the weed would probably make her, marijuana would probably make her perform, you know, subpar.
Negative.
Negative?
Negative.
Negative? Okay, well, you got me on that one. I'm not a weed smoker, so I really don't know.
It wouldn't change her performance at all. It's more for recovery after relaxation.
Right.
Your muscles are tense. You know, she's a track star, so
Right.
she has to stretch. You know what I mean? That allows her body to become more limber. She can stretch herself out. And I guess what we're saying is her mother died, so I can imagine the stress and the tension her body was under.
Right.
But marijuana allows you
Relax her.
to relax yourself, relax your mind, because you have two different strands, sativa, indica. One's a mind, one's a body. You relax yourself, stretch out, focus yourself.
When you come from that angle, then it can be considered performance enhancement.
Correct.
You know, but I think that there is another component to this. You know, beyond what has happened with her losing her place in her race is, you know, this image of this stereotypical black woman that, you know, seems to be emphasized.
Right.
Her physical appearance is what I am having the most problem with, where she's being criticized for being her genuine and authentic self.
Oh man.
Which we oftentimes are. You know, FloJo was very colorful.
Oh yes.
Right? But the world accepted her. And I don't want to add, you know, any degree of racism or colorism. I'm not sure that per se is the issue. But I feel like we are being so much harder on this young lady than I have seen, you know, others seemingly in the past. I'm not suggesting that she gets a hall pass. You know, if you commit the crime, you got to do the time. But what I don't want to see her is ostracized in the public for being authentically who she is as a becoming black woman. I am 100% certain that she is going to learn from this. I am 100% certain, it's my understanding that she's still going to be able to do the relay, that she is going to kill it. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to seeing her prove the world wrong.
I love your perspective on her right there, because I'm in full agreement.
So
Full agreement.
I'm gonna say I'm kind of on the fence about it all. I understand the U.S. American perception on marijuana and the use of it, but that is not the world views.
Correct.
That is one country among 200 that are competing worldwide, and this is all. And like it's not like I can remember when Floyd Mayweather wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he demanded an Olympic blood testing test for the fight because he said Pacquiao was on steroids. Now, the Olympic testing is the most stringent testing in the whole world, and he demanded that for the fight. So, knowing that this Olympic testing is that stringent, you already know, and you know how the world feels about marijuana. You know how the world feels about American athletes, especially track people that are dominating the sport. You got to understand this whole perception of what's going on here, and it's not just smoking weed like an NBA dude or an NFL guy. Like, the world is watching, and this has always been the standard for the Olympics. So I can understand how America, we got outraged because it's 2021, it's legal here, and it's this and that. But like, this ain't our sport. This belongs to the world. Yeah. This is in Tokyo right now. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this ain't ours. I could understand if it was us, we banned her from the U.S. championships, but this is.
And you know what? That's the thing. Just like you're saying, when it comes down to her, I don't think she thought about any of that. I don't think she thought about the world view, because like you said, we're becoming very lax, and we're using it medicinally in a lot of different ways, and recreationally in the States. She's just thinking like, hey, this is something that I can do, and not really thinking that far. And that comes back once again to her youth and possibly to her emotional trauma from her mother's death. So that's why I give her the pass.
So real quick. So there's a couple of things here, right? So I respect the fact that she said, you know what, I made a mistake.
Yes.
And she went on and owned that. So respect to you for owning that. You got to know there's rules and regulations. You got to know that, right? And your decision making cost you an opportunity. The 100 meters is that's the gold standard, right?
Yeah.
And so that can get you on the Wheaties box for real.
That's the race.
That's the race.
In the 400.
That's it.
That's
right?
That 100 and that 400. Yeah. Those are the prestige.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So here's my other thing too, and I want to talk to young people really quickly, right? Decision making is so important, so key in life, right?
Yeah.
And listen to me. You are younger, shorter, and you are older, longer. Let me say it again. You're younger, shorter, and you're older, longer.
Yes.
Right? So the decisions that you make in this short span of life, 0 to 21, if you make a poor decision in that span, it can affect your long life.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I think for her, she is young enough to make a comeback, and she'll be all right, and she'll do well in the 400 and 200 and things of that nature. But I want young people to really look at that. Think about what you're doing before you do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Real talk.
So, I mean, I just want to give you that real game right there.
Yeah, it takes 5 seconds to make a bad decision.
Definitely.
And sometimes it takes forever, and you still can never get from up under it. So it's just reality. With that, man, that was a pretty good segment, y'all. Appreciate it. We're gonna move on to our next one. Comes from us from one of our viewers, Ms. Darnella Thompson. We appreciate the topic. D. Lamar, please.
Yeah. Brother in Springfield, Ohio, I believe his name was Eric Cole. Brother Cole was a victim of a shooting. Police were responding on the scene to this shooting of Brother Cole, and he was in the middle of the street, ailing from his gunshot wounds. And the first responding police officer runs over him with her SUV police cruiser.
Police responded to reports of a shooting late Sunday night on West Liberty Avenue. Just before 11:30 p.m., 42-year-old Eric Cole called police for help, saying he'd been shot and was on South Center Boulevard. Police were sent to find and help him. This is dashcam video of the incident. We're choosing not to show the moment Cole was hit.
There was some confusion in some of the dispatching as to where exactly the address was.
According to the police chief, Officer Amanda Rosales was looking at house numbers while driving and allegedly did not see Cole, who was lying in the road. He also says despite what's seen in the dashcam footage, it's not Rosales' vantage point.
Now we're wondering if Brother Cole's life would have been extended past his gunshot wounds, or if he died from the impact of being driven over by this SUV from the police officer coming to his aid.
Get ran over after being shot can't help you.
Sure no.
Nah.
Like, that shit can't help you. So, and I seen the video. He's actually on the phone with 911 telling them that the police have ran him over.
Yeah.
Like, so.
It's so not funny.
I know, but it's just like.
Didn't the cop? So the cop was like, she was looking at addresses.
That's what she said, man.
I mean, but my God, you need to focus on the road as well. I mean, there's a whole human being in the road.
Yeah, man.
And what I don't understand is, so go ahead.
I just want to speak on it, and I I think that sometimes we have a tendency to put police officers on some sort of pedestal as they are superhuman, right? And I know that I've made similar mistakes as a driver. Now, I'm not saying that this is a situation where, we should consider the negligence that exists here, right? Because as a trained professional, there are certain things that, certain protocols, certain guidelines that you should follow. I do understand that. But how many times in your current line of profession have you made a mistake, right? Probably multiple times. And again, I am not excusing the outcome of this scenario. And I agree, it's going to be very, very hard for them to determine if it was the gunshot versus the impact of being ran over.
Right.
The real unfortunate thing is we're going to label this as an accident.
Yep.
And now, it's another situation where negligence has played a role, and allegedly, we have a situation where, another lost life, and RIP to whomever, hashtag Eric Cole. So that's where we are. But for the record, I just want us to stop putting police officers in a category that is not reflective of everybody else. They are human too, and they make mistakes, as we all do.
I agree with that. You know what? I agree with that. But you know what? Not everybody's in the NBA. You know why? Because everybody doesn't get fucking buckets, okay? Everybody's not in the NFL. You know why? Because they can't throw the ball 70 yards or catch a bomb or get open or make a tackle. You understand? Now everybody's in the NHL. Why? Because they can't fucking skate, okay? Right. You know what? So if you, as a police officer, cannot pay attention to detail because that is your main job, okay? So I hear what she's saying. They not superhuman, but what we expect is some type of clear-cut standard. And the standard that police are setting is fucking unacceptable. So at the end of the day, I just feel like this whole police shit need to be revamped. We need to start, I don't understand how you could be on the force for 15 years and still be a foot soldier and not want nothing. You understand what I'm saying? If you're there that long, you're stealing money, you're not trying to raise your standards, right. You just need to be off the fucking force.
I think what's unacceptable is the lack of action, that we just kind of pacify the situation. So that's what makes it unacceptable. Because we have several examples of unacceptable where nothing has been done in these scenarios, desk duty, that sort of thing. I think what we're looking at is, what action is taking place to rectify these situations so that they don't occur for the future.
Right.
And that's what the problem is. I believe that's what people are hoping for when we talk about change. Change is, what are we going to do to ensure that these kinds of scenarios don't continue.
Yeah. We don't do anything. We suspend a guy with no pay for a week, 2 weeks, and then he's either behind a desk for 6 months and then he's back on the streets, or some other dumb shit. Y'all got something?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like when we talk about accidental death, negligence, and things by officers, like I want there to be retraining for a police force. I'm not so far as to say, what's the term they use? Do something to the police, read something. I can't. What is it?
Re-educate that.
Yeah, but I feel like there needs to be complete overhaul and re-education.
Yes.
Let me just say this one thing. If I was the police officer, I'm going to fire myself. I think that there is a level of accountability on the individual.
Yeah.
I don't think that I would be able to return to work and feel competent that I can do my own job.
Yeah.
I need that pension.
Well, I mean, you know what? I need a lot of things, but I also need to know that I am not going to put somebody's life in jeopardy.
Yeah.
See, but that's not how they think.
Yeah.
There's so many
They
forms
gonna
of
put your life in jeopardy.
accidental death, accidental negligence. I mean, people get shot accidentally by police and they're gone, but they're still on the force. Yeah, there just needs to be training, and it needs to be, to me, governed by a certain body that is set up to do that. They need to be looking at what these people's backgrounds are. They need to be so she had that issue. She ran him over. While she's being suspended, she needs to be into education.
So I would say this: you can train all you want, but you can't teach common sense.
Definitely cannot. Definitely cannot.
And you know, I hear a lot about we need training. There's no measurements that exist for basic common sense.
Not at all.
And so how do we get there? Again, how we get there is through our experiences, right? And so when you've grown up in a certain environment, there are just things that are innate to you.
Yeah.
Your senses, your growing up in the inner city, I just became aware of, your everything of my surroundings. And so I hear what you're saying about training, but tell me how we train common sense.
That's don't, because most of these police officers, matter of fact, before we go there, 51, I know you got something. Let me hear something.
Okay, so I know we're saying training. So different aspects of what we do, healthcare, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 4 years of this, 4 years of that. You got to go to school for this amount of time to become a doctor or this, that, and the other. For a cop, it's like 30 days and there you go. Here's a badge, here's a gun, here's a car, and you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
All right. So when we're talking about that, we need to extend the length, right? There needs to be certain things that you need to qualify for before I can give you this badge, this gun, this car, things of that nature.
So what you saying is a real fucking police academy, like the police academy, like the Ohio State, like you fucking got to go to school for 5-6 years and do this training and do hand-to-hand combat and do all of this.
And it's not like police don't get paid well for the service they do.
And you know what? That's the fastest school you can go to and come out and make $60,000,
right?
Just like that.
Right.
But for these other ones, and then you got to pay back loans and all that. So yeah, I believe. Damn, you want to see? That's why he the fucking genius. You on to something.
But also too, let's talk about technology real quick. Yeah. So we got all these cars that instant brake and this, that, and the other. Well, why isn't that technology on the? We pay all this money, taxpayer dollars. You know what I'm saying, for things like that, cars, SUVs and shit they drive. Why not the technology on that so you don't run over a motherfucker?
You know what? I think she was just so stupid because there's a camera. When you watch the videos, like the camera is pointing at the guy. I'm driving the car.
He got a white shirt on.
Like I can run over a lot of things. I'm not gonna run over a person in the street. Like
he got a white shirt on.
And you know what? I liked what you said, and it brought a thought to me. You said you would fire yourself, right? There are certain mistakes you can do in all lines of business, but some of them cause termination. She should be terminated.
Absolutely.
Straight up. If you mess up in my line of work so many times in certain ways, I got to fire you.
Absolutely.
It's just like that.
Anybody else got something on that?
You know what? I do, man, because and like you said, yeah, you should fire yourself. But when you ran over a black man and they don't consider us anything. That was just a speed bump. So when they consider you less than, I'm not firing myself for something like less than. Keep on working. Next.
And that's where the accountability comes for police. And this is why it makes me so angry for a lot of things. And I'm not even saying that it's racially motivated at this point. Even though we know systemically we are viewed than less than a person, or however you want to take that. Just like that woman coming to her house thinking that's her apartment and shooting that brother. Mm-hmm. She fought that to the end, and she still had her job. You see what I'm saying? It's like those are the things that when we hear even things like this about this brother, it's like, yeah, she gonna be working tomorrow. Like that man is dead. And I don't want to say it's racially motivated, but it's just the system that doesn't make it punitive against.
It's not racially motivated. It's just that the penalty for the crime is not paid. The consequences, there are none.
Right.
All right. So we're going to move on, man. We're going to take a break, man. Thank you, Darnella Thompson, for that topic, man. We appreciate you here at Conscious by Nature, man.
Yeah.
I'm winded right now, man. We'll be back in a minute. That was heavy. All right. Yo. We back. So, man, that was a heavy topic last time. Whew. Y'all cats killed it, though, man. Like always. So, relationship talk.
Absolutely.
51. Talk to me.
As always, we're going to have some relationship talk on Conscious by Nature. And today, we're going to talk about, can you forgive a person for cheating?
Don't everybody talk
at
once. Don't everybody talk at once.
Crickets.
Shit.
You're gonna defer to me?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh wow. I think well, first of all, this is a pretty heavy topic. I think it's an ongoing topic. It's an ongoing debate. Why? Because men and women are so different. We think so different. I personally believe that it depends on where you are in your own personal growth and development and what you are seeking to get out of life. Someone once told me that, marriage is just another relationship. And so I kind of paused because I said, if it was just another relationship, then why would God put so much emphasis on it in the Bible? Why is, the vast majority of single people desiring to have, a marriage or to be in some sort of committed relationship? But when we think about the topic of, cheating and forgiveness, it takes a special kind of person.
Yes.
It takes a special kind of love. It takes two individuals that, are capable, right? And so it really depends on how vested you are in the relationship that you're in. Are you, were you halfway out the door when the scenario occurred?
Right.
Or were you, all the way in, committed, till death do us part? I think where the challenge becomes is that there's a double standard for men and women. And we hear this all the time. I posted something the other day that talked about kind of the issues that men are plagued with, and what they seem to me to be the same issues that women are plagued with. The only difference is you guys seemingly come from a place of logic where we come from a place of emotion. But both men and women flex in both feminine and masculinity, right? So when we think about, yes, I got a book for you, bro.
Feminine?
Feminine, and both men and women have feminine and masculine energy, right? They do. And the interesting part of that is when you're in relationship mode, you both can't be flexing in, feminine energy at the same time or masculine energy at the same time. It just does not work very well. But when we think about the double standards, I always ask because, these are conversations that I have with my female friends. And these are conversations that I've had with female friends that have been in relationships where cheating has occurred.
Okay.
Some choose to say, some choose to, part ways. It just depends on the individual. But the question that always comes up with my female friends is the double standard. Why does it seem like, we can be loyal and maybe times have changed? I know the genius down there is going to hit me with that. But, that we seemingly are more accepting, more forgiving of the crime. But when it comes to our man counterpart, you seemingly cannot handle it.
Oh, shit.
So I'm going to put the question back on you guys.
It's not a yes or no for me. Like whether you can or you can't. Okay. You brought up a lot of good things right there. Like, how long have you been together? There's so many different things you could look at. Like if you've been married 10 years, I'm just throwing that out there. You got children, and somebody, significant cheats or whatever. Your thought process might be, I don't want to ruin what I have because we have a family. But then also it's like, what in my mind, it's like, how did you cheat on me? Were you emotionally involved with this person?
So you think that makes a difference?
It may. Like you said, it's based on the person.
Right.
And the circumstance. Because I know traditionally back in the day, there was a lot of bad marriages that happened and people stayed with their significant other just for their family. And I don't think that that's a good thing, but I understood the mindset behind that man or woman.
I think most people that stay together, beyond the act or the crime, stay together because they genuinely love each other. I don't believe that it has anything to do. I mean, and I'm not going to say all of the cases, but the cases that I am familiar with, that it doesn't necessarily have to do with financial stability or the family or that sort of thing. I think there is a genuine love, because in order for you to overcome such a thing, you've got to pull from that love. Do you see what I'm saying? In order to stay together, it's a struggle. You've got to fight. And not only that, you've got to face family, you've got to face friends. I think what people fail to realize is cheating, yes, that is an act between a man and a woman, or whatever the scenario may be.
Right.
But the whole entire family, the whole system is impacted.
Yes.
Right? And we heard Jay-Z say it best in the 444. When the family is feuding, it is extremely complicated. And so I disagree with you, my friend.
Okay.
That it comes from, particularly if you have some years invested in it. So that's just my thoughts.
I mean,
about
it is definitely hard.
51.
So, thing is, can you forgive? Right? Yes. You can forgive a person, but you motherfucker can't forget. We talk about mental timestamps over and over and over again on this show, right? Mental timestamps. Someone banging my wife that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in there, man.
Yeah.
And that, hey, man. And so you have to be, what you were saying, you have to be strong. That love got to be strong for you to be like, try to
You gotta have Bobby Whitney love.
to get that up out of there.
Go ahead, Finn.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, you can forgive, but the forgetting part, oh man, that's tough.
So I ain't gonna speak hypothetically. I ain't gonna speak in scenarios. I'm gonna tell you straight up from right here. No, I will not forgive you for cheating. As a matter of fact, it really just depends on how much I love you. Like for my wife right now, if she was to do something like that, I'd probably kill her.
Damn!
Like on some real shit. You know what I mean? Just straight up. You know what I mean? This gangbanging marriage, only way out is if you die out. You feel me? So that's what we on right now. That's it. Only way out of that. So yeah, but the fact of the matter is I have been cheated on. So I didn't care about you. Was like, did you kill her, Money? No, I didn't kill her. I didn't care about her like that. What I did was I just went on ahead and knocked down her cousin and her friend and her sister. You know what I mean? I just ran through them. Okay, so I guess it depends on how much you care, but if you don't care, you know what I mean, and it's just a fling. But I guess if it's your significant other, for me, you know what I mean, I got a passionate, obsessive, crazy love. So yeah, little mommy, I wouldn't try nothing crazy.
Because you're a Cancer. That's, we love very deep. Cancers love very, very deep.
I mean,
yeah, that's hard to follow up.
that's great. But it's like, there's a lot of reasons why you could stay in a relationship, but not really still love them.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought up the kids and all those other things.
I will say this.
Because you can stay in a marriage and not love somebody.
I'm not staying in a marriage where love does not exist.
Yeah.
I can't. I am not staying. I'm not going to kid myself.
There you go.
I'm not going. Now, there are folks who do it.
Yeah.
And I do know folks who stay for, a variety of other reasons, money, whatever the case may be, but that's not a marriage, right?
Right.
So I think that, always going back to the foundation, to the Bible, it tells us what a marriage should be comprised of. But, I do want to say one thing, as far as forgiving and forgetting. You're absolutely correct. There are things that we experience in our life that become a part of our DNA, a part of our blueprint. But those things are in essence given to us, right? Because God will not put on us more than what we can bear, right? For us to be able to take that and to use our superpowers for good. You can certainly go out and kill your spouse.
Please don't.
I'm not going out to kill my spouse.
Don't encourage that.
That's not what I said.
Or you can be a better person.
Right.
You can what I challenge people to do, right? So this becomes a challenge, right? Ask yourself, what role did you play in the scenario? See, we forget about the role that we played in the scenario, right? Some people just do what they do because they do it, right? But then you have to ask the cheater, why did you cheat, right? What was the reason? Because ultimately, the victim in the case, there might have been a role that you actually played. And I'm not saying that it's your fault. When you talked about decisions, we're adults, right? So we either make the wrong decision or the right decision. But somewhere in our convoluted minds, it may tell us that I am doing the thing because my spouse, my significant other, or my partner did a thing or acted a certain way.
Did a thing or not doing something.
Or not
right.
doing a thing. In a relationship, we all have a role to play.
Yes.
And bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, some of us get really, really lax.
Ooh,
We get lax.
Yeah.
Trey Songz said it best. If I had not slacked up on my pimping, right? If I had not slacked up on my pimping, you would still be here.
Hey, the doc got
With
the
me.
sound bites.
Right? So it's
Yeah.
it's the simple things. If you
Right.
know your spouse like flowers, don't you gotta be the person to give them flowers,
That's
because
it.
as soon as you don't,
somebody will.
those 20 million women we talked
You know
about
what?
in Columbus, Ohio will, or those suited gentlemen, they will. And if you have an ounce of intelligence, you can hop on one foot, and you can bark like a dog. You're good to go, right? Everybody, there is someone in your DM.
Yeah.
There is someone constantly in your ear. I don't care if you're a married woman, a single woman, whatever the case may be, there is always going to be someone who's going to challenge your bond. But I ask everybody to consider, what role did you play in the scenario? And what could you have done? And I'm not saying it's your fault, but what could you have done? Could you cut the crust off the toast in the morning?
I don't think that was it. I think he needs a little bit of more special attention. That's what you could have did.
You know what? This is great perspective, whether you're cheated on or not. Some relationships don't work
Yeah.
because of these things.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah. Got to. With that being said,
great.
the great sound bites from the doc. We're going to move on. And what's our next topic? I believe it's NCAA.
Oh,
The kids is getting paid.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, what's happening?
So yeah, the NCAA. I think they've been. This is the whole Ed O'Bannon deal from years ago.
You punk. At
Man.
least we get NCAA back. You punk.
So let's go back. That was one of our favorite games growing up, man. You know what I'm saying? That NCAA college football, man, that was something special, and it was taken away from us.
Yeah.
But we're men.
Yeah.
Now, we understand why Ed O'Bannon and some of the other athletes did what they did. Hey, I want to get paid off my likeness.
Oh, yeah.
Because you couldn't get
Right.
paid off your
I could-
NBA.
Well, Ed O'Bannon kind of sucked, but I understand where he was coming from.
We ain't going to do that to Ed, man.
Yeah, I'm doing
that to Ed
because
O'Bannon.
all this started like the outcome was what we wanted, but all this started because Ed O'Bannon was the top guy in college at UCLA. He came out of the NBA and you stunk and you didn't make any money and you wasn't that guy. Then after 5 years, you was like, oh, I'm about to sue the NCAA for my likeness because they was still showing your throwback team on NCAA and all this shit. Yeah, so yeah, whatever.
That's facts. So now that can of worms has been out there for quite some time, and now they've decided to go ahead and let the college athletes get a piece,
For sure.
right? For the names and likenesses and things of that nature.
It makes sense.
So what's up, man? Is y'all cats gonna get Reggie Bush the trophy back, man?
That's what I was
Man,
going
give
to
him back his
say.
trophy.
Come on, man. What's up, man? Y'all
They-
cats ruined my man TP over some goddamn gold pants. I don't understand. The man beat Michigan. It's his gold pants to trade and sell, and they're his pants. I can trade and sell these pants for a tattoo if I want. They're my pants. They're pants.
But then he have something to do with my boy Jimmy losing his job, though. Don't say TP. I ain't got no love for him.
Yes, because of the goddamn gold pants for the tattoo.
Well, I would
Still
say
told, though.
as a Tressel fan,
Yeah.
Tressel was aware. I think the issue was that he may have not let it be known to the public that but I say, one thing about Jim Tressel and knowing him on a personal level, he's a great guy, a God-fearing man.
Yep.
And if the Titanic was going to sink, he was going to go down
Come
with
on
it.
now.
Yep.
So his genuine loyalty to the game and to his players,
Yup.
to me, make him
The best coach
best
ever.
ever.
Best coach ever played for.
Tressel. I
at
love Jim
Ohio
Tressel.
State, and coming from, being a parent of athletes, this is a topic that comes up in my household, and actually having to work my butt off in school, thinking that, well, I had to work my butt off in school in order for me to, get a scholarship. You guys get scholarships, you get books, you get treated like campus royalty.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, this juncture in terms of getting paid. So where I stand on it is, my youngest son has broke both of his wrists playing football. They both have had, or my oldest son has had concussions. So I've seen broken bones, concussions. I've seen depression. I've seen, all of those things that come with trying to be, to operate in a high degree of excellence, right? And so if you're going to use my name and if you're going to use my image, then I do believe that there should be a degree of compensation.
Definitely.
Now, what we're going to see is that what institutions may do is adjust how they operate. So what they're going to do, because they want to make sure that they're keeping their costs low, is, well, guess what? We'll figure out how to not use your name and how to not use your image. So there's always a loophole to this, right? There's always a loophole to this. There's always some attorney that can read the policy and figure out what you need to do for the best position for the institution.
Yeah, so the NCAA is very smart, right? They're not dummies.
Oh, no.
Right? And the universities are very smart. They're not dummies, right? So like a Penn State, we'll just take your name plate and remove your name off your back. Now, a lot of smart people are going to still know that's X player, right? But I want to know, how are they going to regulate the funds? When do you get the funds? Do you get the funds after your 2, 3, 4 years? Do you get it during? If your jersey's at the Buckeye corner and it sells, when do I get that piece? So that's the type of stuff that I would like to know.
And for me, just to piggyback off that, who's keeping track of these funds?
Yeah.
Who is keeping track of your monetization right now? Like who? Because like NFL players, you got that contract. You sign that contract with Nike or whatever. You know what you're getting paid. You know the percentages. Like, or now are you under contract? Like now you sign that scholarship. Now is there like another contract that you sign for monetization? Or what they saying is, now you can go out and get your own endorsements.
And that's kind of what I thought.
And we're going to still use your likeness, but we're not going to pay you for using your likeness, but you can get paid off your likeness. Right. So is that, I'm thinking that's how it's going, instead of just saying, oh, we paying these kids. I think it's, yes, we're going to use your likeness. And yes, now you can get paid off your likeness, but now how good are you? Who's paying you for your name? So we're saying
more. This is more of an independent deal.
Yep,
that's the way it came off.
Me myself, I'm working with Reichert Ford, and I'm gonna do a commercial for you. I'm gonna use my name and likeness in your commercial. Y'all break me off.
Yes,
not necessarily from the school per se.
No,
and that's the way I interpreted it too.
Okay.
Man, remember those kids went to Oklahoma and they were working at the car dealership, and they got messed with by the NCAA, but because they weren't brown, they kept those jobs and got that money. You would be able to do that. So you would have to be able to sell yourself.
So you can sell insurance and do all that. You can do whatever.
Because they're not going to have nothing to do with it. They're going to do exactly what she said and what you guys were talking about. Change the whole game up.
Yeah.
If you got that number 5 Braxton Miller jersey, it's not going to say Miller no more.
Well,
it might not even have a number on
see,
it.
that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. It will say Miller. It will say them last names because they not paying you for that. You signed a contract to say we could use your likeness, and we said you can get paid off your likeness, but that don't mean I'm paying you off your likeness.
Are you insinuating that now that college athletes will have to sign a formal contract?
Never know.
I'm gonna say they're gonna have to sign a formal contract for whoever endorsing them. Like for me, I don't see where I'm thinking it's more like LeBron signing with Nike. Like him playing for the Lakers has no bearings on his Nike contract. He can play for any damn team in the league, and he has that Nike contract.
And I think that the thing that the NCAA has been able to hold their hat on for so long was the definition they had of student athleticism.
Yep.
Okay, because that's every time you brought up this image and like it was like, oh, you're a student athlete, you don't get paid. So that definition is going to have to change. And then we're going to see a different precedent. Right now, we just don't know what that is.
Here's the other thing that I see that's going to happen, that I think will happen. So now, let's say Stacy on the lacrosse team, it's like, hey, I'm not getting anything off this, but the football player that's generating the billions of dollars, so he get to have 50 million commercials. So I can see something like that happening too.
Hey, that's life.
If I'm the best player,
how many commercials LBJ got?
Hundreds.
All right, then. So how many commercials Pat Beverly got?
0.
All right, then. Girl from the lacrosse team, you Pat Beverly.
Straight up.
Dude from the football team, that's LBJ. Like, I don't understand what we're talking about here. But you know what? We're running a little long today, so we're going to move on to our next subject. And it's a juicy one. It's a juicy one.
Oh, man.
Come on, man. Talk to me, man.
Hey, so we're talking about Bill Cosby released from prison.
Jello pudding pop.
So I'm going to say, whatever your thought process is, whether you're for Bill or against him, let's pull that back just for 1 second. Just for 1 second. Okay? We hear a lot of things about him being released on a technicality. It's not a technicality, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Cosby, over 20 years ago, was approached by prosecutors because there were several women who were coming after him for the same things he had been convicted of. Really? Quaaludes, sexual acts, and things done to them. They approached him with a deal in which they wanted his testimony against this lawsuit. But they said, we will not prosecute you if you give us your testimony in this lawsuit. I researched this. He took the deal. And when you look at the transcripts, Bill Cosby, over 20 years ago, testified in the lawsuit. And it could not be used against him because he took a deal stating that they would not prosecute him for his testimony.
But wasn't the reason why it was revisited was because there were additional women that was not originally a part of the lawsuit that came forward?
So this is the reason why they prosecuted him this time, because this was a different prosecutor. The deal that he had was still valid and on the books. They used his testimony from the past against him. That's why he's out of jail.
Oh, he about to sue their ass. Oh,
that's the next part.
Oh my God, he about to sue their ass.
Even though, and I'm one of those people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, was on the camp that statute of limitations had passed. All of these people were coming forward, and maybe it wasn't so fair. But once I saw the transcripts, Bill admitted to this.
So,
everything.
I guess what I don't understand is, to me, by releasing him on a technicality,
but it wasn't.
What impact does that have on his ability to file a lawsuit versus if they would have, I guess I can't think of the terminology, let him go on for another reason? See, I think that they set it up to where he would be incapable of actually coming back and filing a lawsuit based on the way that he was released. Now, I'm just making an assumption about that, but I think perhaps that may play a role.
Well, he wasn't exonerated.
That was the word.
Okay. And they made sure to say that he wasn't.
Well, he can't be exonerated when you got a confession from 20 years ago to committing a crime. Correct. So there's no way you can be exonerated, but there's also no way and no reason that you can be convicted based on the signings and the agreement of your predecessor. So I don't give a shit what you talking about.
Correct.
You had already put a deal in place, so that's double jeopardy, my friend. You cannot do that. You are about to lose a lot of money to a man who already has a lot of money.
So I believe he will sue and win because he made the deal. So the thing was, it's legality.
Yes.
And that's really misconduct by
the
those
prosecution.
attorneys, by the
Yep.
prosecution,
Yeah.
because they completely voided his deal, and they used those testimony from back then against him.
They ain't gonna be able to get a job nowhere.
And it's hard, like I said, because
You love you some Bill.
once I saw his testimony, though, I'm like, Bill admitted to everything.
But
He
hold
admitted
on.
to giving those women those Quaaludes. Go right ahead.
No, yeah. I just want to hear 51 real
Nah,
quick.
yeah, y'all killing the game out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he admitted to it. You know what I'm saying? Legal ease.
Hold on, man. I just got to step in. These guys is tripping, man. These guys is tripping, man. Let me just say this. If you know I do Quaaludes, you know I smoke weed, you know I do cocaine, you know I drink a lot of alcohol, you know I party real hard, right? Okay? So I take your ass to the cabin with me, right? You party real hard. Now you know I like fucking, you know, this is Hollywood, we do this shit. This is how I don't understand this. I'm a regular person myself. If I go to the cabin and drink and do drugs with you and we have sex, I don't really consider that rape. Like, I mean, we're going away on a cabin trip together.
Yeah.
So-
You bring up a very, very good point, and I apologize. The double standard that exists for men and women. You know, it's my understanding that men can be raped too. So if you have two individuals who are under the influence, who raped who?
So this is where I was gonna go, right? I was gonna go into more of the Hollywood lane here.
Yep.
All right. You know, if you doing the blow, you got the popping the pills, you alcohol, this, that, and the other. Hey man, that activity comes with you making that decision to pop that pill, snort that blow. You know, I mean, that plays a part,
Man.
I think that society and again I'm a female and I'm always going to fight hard for the ladies. But this conversation is just resonates with me because the same rules don't apply. And that's you know, that's just a matter of fact that we think of men in such a, particularly black men, in such a barbaric way. That they must have did a certain thing, and automatically there's an assumption that they're guilty, right? But you know, you're absolutely right. There is an element of decision making that comes into place when we have a personal responsibility to avoid putting ourselves in certain situations, particularly when we know this is the case, this is, you know, what's going to happen. I don't know how men can best advocate for themselves. You know, I don't know how you go out and, you know, with the Me Too movement, which is such a powerful movement. You know, I'm a mother. I think my position is very different than other folks because I'm a mother of two young men. I have brothers, I have uncles. And so that's always a concern for me. And I am not saying that, you know, some of these issues that women are experiencing have not occurred, because I have been in situations where I've had friends where they may have set their drink on the counter and the next thing they know, someone drops a pill into their drink unbeknownst to them, and now they're in a situation to where they can't control themselves.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't a choice that they made. That wasn't a choice that they made, right? So I think that a lot of these things within our judicial system should be revisited, certainly. And I think this case, perhaps, and what I'm hoping for, will set precedent for all of those cases where there is not a celebrity involved, right? Because we have a number of men, particularly black men, who are in jail for the same crime.
Right.
And so I would ask that all of those cases be revisited.
And you know what? I mean, I love how you put that. You know, because just like you guys are saying, some of these things happened in the 70s. And in his deposition, he says that. I invited her over. They asked him about his Quaaludes. His doctor gave them to him. He said, well, in the 70s, we used them to get high. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, do you use them yourself? He said, no, they make me sleepy. So I invited a girl over. She says that we were in his apartment and we were getting close to each other and all of this. And then, but right when they talk about him getting close to her, it seems like she wants to leave or she doesn't want to do that. But everything else in the deposition sounds like they're going to have sex.
That's what I'm saying. And when I'm going into it, it's like you drive up there, you party all day, you kick it all day. We're spending the weekend together, and we're not having sex. I'm so confused.
It's 2 a.m. now.
I'm so confused.
Okay, but it shouldn't be an assumption that we're going to engage in an act.
But that's not the first time we've been fucking, girl. We didn't smash in the trailer already. You just taking a weekend.
But I still have the right to say this particular time I don't want to engage in.
This is true.
And that's where, there's, where you're playing on a slippery slope.
So are you just saying that right now, or did you say that then? Because if you was off the Quaaludes and all that, I'm hard.
But I'm saying
doubt that you was saying to see like for me, it's like how he's telling you that these women are taking these drugs. Yeah. He's the sober one in the situation.
So he is never taking them.
So I guess my question is for the ladies: at what point did you say no? Was there a point in time that you said no? Because the point in time that you said no and he proceeded with whatever acts he proceeded with, that's rape.
Bill, you ain't go past no, did you?
Did you go past no?
Bill, you didn't go past no.
Bill did, man. That deposition, I'm telling you, man.
In there, did it say it went past no?
Man, I didn't get to a point where wait a minute, let me break it down. I didn't get to a point where no was actually said, but he did use his influence. That one I read about a 19-year-old girl. He met her at Temple University. He saw her there. He said he instantly liked her. He invited her over to talk to her about acting. She's there. It's not really late in the day like that, but they're just getting close to one another. And then he gives her one of these pills and she falls out.
So the debate.
Oh shit! So he just Darren Sharping motherfuckers. Oh, this is something.
Right. So the debate is not is not whether
Bill did it, man.
He did it or not. Right?
We know he did it.
We know he did it. But guilty. It is the injustice within the legal proceedings that is debatable.
So wait a minute. These Quaaludes, he just giving these. This is fucking crazy.
This is not.
Now these are groupies.
They definitely are.
These are groupies, man. Yeah. Now in the one case, the 19-year-old, and he did that. That's wank. But y'all know what time it was. You knew what space it was. The man was married. You knew what time it was.
Yep.
All right. So hey.
But I will say he knew what time it was.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's why he made it that time. That's what the time it was for, and he applied it.
So you can not like Bill Cosby for what he's done.
Jello pudding pops.
At the same time, I mean, he did it.
We know, D.
He confessed to doing it.
No, nigga. You keep trying to slander my man.
I mean, he confessed to doing it, but he don't deserve to be in jail because they did not follow legal terms. There's misconduct there. So it's not technical. It's what should have happened. He should have been released.
Shout out to Felicia Rashad for
coming out
and actually supporting him. She getting hit now, But hey, that's what she wanted to do.
She don't care.
Yeah, she might lose that job though.
She don't care.
She's straight.
She paid.
She just got that job in May.
She don't care. If she cared, she would have never said nothing in the first place.
She came back though. She apologized, man.
But we got anything else? And I don't really want to leave, but we've been here for a long time, man.
Hold on, I actually do have something else. I want to get your thoughts on that CP3 and that Pat Bev. I want to hear from my man on that.
All right, man. So Champ Talk 101, man. Here we go. If you are a talker, as I am a talker on the field, on the court, I'll talk to you. I don't give a fuck. Now, I'm not the person that starts talking, but if you start talking to me, you'll never hear me shut the fuck up for the rest of the game, okay? You'll wish you never even said a word to me. So with that being said, Pat Beverly, fucking talker. I love guys like this. They love to talk to you. You start busting their ass, fucking crickets. And then you got the nerve, then you go over and ask them, yo, why you not talking to me no more? I was enjoying your conversation. You was talking shit and I was firing you up. Talk to me some more. I want to hear more shit from you because I want to continue to bust your ass. You know what I mean? And that's how I would approach the situation. A lot like CP3. Pev, talking. Tray bomb. 2-pointer. Pull up jumper. Tray bomb. Spin off. Pick and roll. Pull up jumper. Tray bomb. Like 15 points in a row on you, Pat Bev. You supposed to be this goddamn defensive stopper. This super tough guy in the league. The Clippers call a timeout. Chris Paul walks past Pat Beverly. Looks at him dead in the face. Don't say a word. Now, Pat Bev been talking all this shit, and they both been chirping back and forth on the court. But, you know, the last about 4 or 5 minutes, Pat Bev ain't said a word because he ain't got to fucking stop. Paul walks past him, don't say a word. Pat Beverly does some of the most sucker shit I've ever seen in the NBA. Like, and I always tell you these cats is punks now, but this was some real sucker shit. He literally lets Chris Paul walk by. He turns, nuts up like this, like he about to punch him in the back of the head, like, yeah, I'm about to fuck you up, Chris Paul. And he go over there and he just shove Chris Paul in the back and just push him to the ground on some old sneak attack shit.
He was flexing in his feminine essence.
She cooking right now. Yes, no doubt.
Ooh, dropped a bomb on that.
Yeah, she cooking.
That's how we feel about you, Pat Bev. But I just want to get, you know, for me personally, man, like that's like some of the most, that's the worst shit you could possibly do. Like that's so unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
That's going against the code. Like, see, if you would have did that shit at the park to me, I'd have went to my car and got my trunk and I would have shot your ass immediately in the middle of the park for some shit. That's how shit happens. So seriously, that's the type of level of disrespect that you showed to that man after he busted your ass in good form. It was good form. He was busting your ass. And for me, Pat Bev is now like one of my least favorite motherfuckers for that. Like, I just can't rock with you. You no longer Pat Bev or like, and I liked you because you was a tough dude.
Right.
I thought you was tough. You're a fake tough guy. I hate fake tough guys.
You're a sucker.
Any thoughts on that suck ass dude?
Yeah. Let me throw some on that too. As a professional shit talker, right? And so, especially I play ball. You know what I'm saying? So when I was on the court, I'm gonna give you that work, and I'm gonna talk to you too, right? As I'm giving you that work, those that know. Okay. So, but if I'm getting the work done to me, I'm gonna shut my mouth, and I'm not gonna do no sucker shit that Pat Bev did.
Oh, see you.
Either I'm gonna dap that man up and say, hey, respect. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, see me. Even if you giving me that work, I'm gonna be like, nigga, you still a bitch. I'm gonna fuck nigga. You lucky, motherfucker. This your lucky day today, motherfucker. That like every dog has his day. Go ahead, let this shit shine on your ass.
Right. You just can't never go to no weak ass stuff like that.
Nah,
it's too weak.
I can't.
Pushing somebody in the back, all of that. Let your work do the talking.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Whether I'm gonna D you up like I need to, or I'm gonna splash just like I need to. But I ain't gonna touch you unless you want to take it there.
And even if I'm getting destroyed, I ain't gonna never shut the fuck up.
It's just, don't be weak with it.
Yeah. Just don't be weak with it. You know what I mean? Stand on your shit like a man. Anyways.
So you a sucker, Pat Beverly. That's it.
On the list, you, Dexter Jackson. Who else on that list?
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Michael Rappaport.
Oh,
Man.
You know what?
It's too
KD,
long.
you go on that list too because you don't brush your hair. And until you start brushing your hair.
Wait a minute, though. KD, I don't know, man. I like what he did to Scottie Pippen. We could talk about that another time.
Next week, we're going to talk
Next
about
week,
Scottie Pippen. KD. Hey, 51, take us up top.
Listen, man, we love the topics today. Man,
Yeah.
The show was fire. Thank you, Queen, for showing up and showing out.
Yes.
We thank the subscribers who've come in and joined us. And as always, we will be back next week.
D. Lamore, take us up out of here.
Hey, Cash App giveaway is still going on. Comment, like, subscribe. Leave that Cash App in the comment section. We'll do it again next week.
Dr. Mary Bynum, take us up top.
You know, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to express myself today. I think I have a natural gift to gab. And so just showcasing that here on your show was definitely impactful. And I hope the audience will gain something from something I had to say today. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc, for joining us. Coming up, she will be putting on a panel of women. So what we're going to do is it'll be maybe 4 to 6 women on this panel. I'm going to ask our fellas to come out. There'll be single women, married women, divorced women. We'll have all types of professions and everything. I'm going to ask the fellas to come out and just ask these women some questions, some things that y'all want to know. It'll be a little Dr. Mary Bynum and Conscious by Nature thing. We'll actually shoot it and everything. So looking forward to that coming up this fall. Sorry I sprung that on you guys. Something
I'm with it.
I know it. Also, check out Conscious by Nature. Will be live August 28th here down at Columbus at the Shoe for Central State in Eastern Michigan. HBCU Kickoff Classic. So we'll be down in the building checking that out. The Pretty Boys Champ gonna be on the call, calling the game. Yeah. So enough about me. Thank you guys for joining us. It was a great show. We had a lot of fun. Next week, everybody, stay conscious.
Peace.
Peace.